She's cute, she's funny, she loves to talk, and this is her show you're about to watch. Madison, that's her name, Madison. Madison, the Madison Show's about to begin.
Yeah, I'm ready.
We're live.
We did it. We made it.
Yes,
It's such a
yes.
long travel.
Oh my
Okay,
goodness.
hello everyone. Introduce yourselves, give me your name, where you're from, and a fun fact about yourselves.
All right, do you want to go or do you want me to go? Do you wanna
Yeah, you go first.
go? Okay, my name's Oliver, and my first word was sausage.
And where are you from?
I'm from Dallas, Texas, around. In the area of...
Within the
No, but nobody from Dallas, Texas is from Dallas, Texas. It's...
makes
I'm around.
My name is Jackson West, and I am from, let's see, I will be from today, I think I'll be from the Des Moines around, like Des Moines around.
Mhm. Is anybody from Des
What do
Moines
you
actually
mean?
from Des Moines?
day.
Yeah, no, people are definitely from Des Moines, but
Wow,
I'm just not.
that's crazy.
What is my fun fact? You did your first word.
Yeah,
Mine was uh-oh, so if that's not indicative of my life.
Uh-oh and sausage.
and sausage. Okay, mine was I said sausage and then I didn't speak again for like a year. I said sausage and my mom was like, "Come on!" I said sausage a few more times and then nothing. And they took me to speech therapy. Like a year later, I spoke again.
Oh my god.
I said all I needed to say. I was like, sausage.
Done.
That's it. Period.
Taken care of.
Taken care of.
Okay, so how are you guys doing in this time at home? Like what are your fun activities that you've been keeping yourself busy with?
Oh.
That got a rise out of Jackson.
Building a Muppet.
Wait, what is that?
It's an uncompleted Muppet, but like we're getting there.
Dang, that's way more exciting than anything I was gonna say.
Wait, that's so cute. What's its name?
Well, he doesn't even have eyes yet, so I can't exactly give him a name.
Okay. Yeah, you'll
That's
know
fair.
his name once you see him.
Yeah, exactly. It's like an experience.
An experience.
So we've been doing Muppet work.
Yes.
Anything else?
Jackson's been having a lot of late night rants too. You'll just start posting things.
It's not even good things.
No.
I was talking about something. Oh, the word crimson? Hate it.
Hate that
Just
word.
hate it. Couldn't give you a reason.
But it's a bad word. That's
I
fair
hate that
enough.
word. Also, what are your feelings on lemon lime sodas?
It depends on the lemon lime soda.
Well, first of all, if you're gonna drink a soda, I say just dive in and drink like a Coca-Cola, you know,
Exactly.
or like a Dr. Pepper is like medicine water, kind of. I know I'm like offending a lot of people saying that, but like Dr. Pepper is like, if my Dr. Pepper
Water.
was like, not medicine water, like it's got more flavor than water, you know.
Sure.
It's flavorful, but it tastes like medicine is
No,
my
it
point.
doesn't. It's so good.
It
You're
tastes like if you
conditioned to
put,
think
like,
that medicine
grape.
tastes good, and that's
Do you
okay.
like Coke? Do you like Coke?
I don't really.
I hate Coke. Coke is so bad.
Coke is the soda.
Listen, lemon
They-
lime
they-
soda, if it's like labeled as lemon lime soda, I probably don't like it. But if it's Sprite, like
if the lemon lime thing is in smaller font than the brand name, so you like lemon lime soda then?
no.
As long as the brand is not lemon lime.
Well,
I
like,
just don't
it's
lemon
not
lime soda.
not like
lemon lime soda.
store brand soda that's like lemon lime flavored, you know?
Okay, yeah. But
Also,
store brand
what are your
soda's
guys'
never
grocery
as good.
stores?
Huh?
What are your guys' grocery stores?
Tom Thumb. Which I've always thought is
Is it the pie?
well, back when I lived in California, it was Ralph's, and I was like, that's a great name for a grocery store. It's Ralph's, you know. Let's go to Ralph's, get some pretzels. I don't know, but it's Tom Thumb now, and
Thumb?
I guess that was a guy or a guy who had a really significant thumb and likes to sell produce.
Was that the one that went in like the pie? Is that what? Do you know that old nursery rhyme? With the plum?
I'm hoping it's an old nursery rhyme just because that's more fun than either of the things I said. Just some guy named Tom. That's not interesting.
What's your grocery store, Jackson?
I am currently working at Hy-Vee. It's spelled Hy-VEE.
No.
Hy-Vee.
That's so extra.
Not even like HIV. It's quite strange. Yeah.
Interesting.
That's hilarious. Why didn't they just that's 3 letters.
Yeah, like why didn't they call it like hive, like HIVE, you know, like the beehive?
That's a great idea. I'll suggest it at the next meeting.
Rename.
You have that much power? Impressed. You've been building.
I have this much power, approximately. Also, the other day at Hy-Vee, someone told me I was killing people.
You are.
They're like, "You guys are still open?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Like as I'm checking them out. And they go, "Well, let's see how many people you kill today." And I said,
"You're here."
People that's here for me.
Yeah, maybe you.
You come in to buy a can of beans. Like, why are you?
Dang, that's rude.
Don't come at me like that.
Don't come at me.
I'm so sorry, Jackson. Oliver, what are you doing in your time at home? Anything?
I forgot that was the question. I've started like writing a little bit. I've been meaning to for a long time, and I was like, hey, I'll just start writing. So I've been doing that a little bit. That's been cool. I painted a picture one time.
Just once.
My sister's taken some pictures of me. She's like an artist, one of those artist types.
My sister.
And my
She's
sister,
an artist.
and she always like what she does is she does like marketing or whatever. And so she like takes pictures and then spends like 8 hours on Photoshops and turns it into something. So she's like, Oliver, come take pictures for me. And I'm like,
you're like Vogue.
Yeah, exactly. I'm so sexy.
That's so exciting.
Also humble.
Okay, let's see. What other questions do I have? Ooh, here's a fun one that I love doing. What are your guilty pleasures?
Oh, I said as if I had a really good answer to this question. I just think everybody's gonna be, wait, Jackson, go. Well, I think
a little bit. I think it's guilty. I don't know. I feel guilty sometimes, but not all the time. Sometimes it's like I'm prideful of this, but
No, yeah.
Pink, like the artist.
Yeah.
Big old crush on her.
That just wasn't what I expected.
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
Nobody expects that coming out of my mouth, but like if like Pink is the one person that if like she showed up or she's going somewhere, I'm like
you'd stop functioning.
Like I freeze, like I can't move, like it all stops working.
Yeah.
Purely because she can have like she has amazing technique whilst flying through the air. Like
she's a Renaissance woman.
It's incredible.
Okay.
Anyway.
Well, I love it. Yeah, you should definitely be mindful of that. You share your pink love with the world.
I got like 2 guilty pleasures. One of them's more like technicality guilty pleasure, and that's that like sometimes I'll just watch British panel shows for like 3 hours at a time.
British panel show. Is that like The View, but in Britain?
No. These are like actually really good. So picture a show with all these British comedians you know and love because you watch a lot of British panel. Yes. And basically they have one mock the week or like the Great Big Quiz, I think is one of them. And basically they'll just like, it's like a game show, but with comedians. And my favorite one is called Would I Lie to You? And it's got like some British guys whose names I forget. but basically they pull out a story and it's either a real story or a fake story, and they have to convince the other team that it happened. And then the other team's like, liar. Or they're like, you know what? I believe you.
Do they have one of those on Netflix with that guy that does the puppet thing on Twitter? I know that was very broad.
Well, see, if I had known the puppet guy from Twitter, I think I would know what you're talking about, unfortunately.
Which
I
is
think he's
odd.
a comedian
because I feel
named
like you're a big
Jimmy.
Twitter person.
Jimmy C something.
Jimmy Carr.
Yes, him.
Yeah,
he
he
on
hosts
Netflix, I think.
Yeah, he hosts one of those shows. Yeah, British
Now I know
panel
what
shows.
you're talking about.
There's panel shows.
And then also during this quarantine, I've been reconnecting with the boys, and we've been playing lots of video games at night. And there's this game called Civilizations 5, which basically what it is we're gonna start playing.
I love that game.
Yeah! Basically, you start in like the Stone Ages and you build yourself all the way up to like building a rocket and go into space. And it's a turn-based strategy game where you build your empire and you go against other people. You can have wars or whatever. Anyway, my boys and I, we've beat like 3 or 4 games of that so far this quarantine, but no game has lasted more than 3 days. That's significant because the average game of this game lasts 12 hours. We stayed up until we had like, I think our longest session was 7.5 hours. And I can't do that like at school, but we're just, I'm allowed to stay until 4 a.m. I don't have class at 9:30.
There are no rules right now.
We are in new times. There's a better word for that. We're
building our own empire.
Where's my thesaurus? Let me.
Anybody got any synonyms for me real quick? Somebody help me out.
Oh,
Unprecedented.
Unprecedented.
We are living in unprecedented times. It's true.
Right. I love that. That was so good. I'm so glad that you shared that with me. Maybe wait, what do you play it on?
Computer.
Can I get Civilizations 5?
Yeah, beware. There's a large learning curve, and it takes
That's
at least
huge.
2 like 8-hour games to figure out. And like your first game, by the end of it, you're just not having a good time anymore because over the course of 12 hours, you have the ability to get really far behind everybody else. So you're just kind of, but by out, it's like turn like 400. You're like, all right, I know I'm not going to win. Let's just start having fun. My first game, I just started building opera houses. I was like, listen, my citizens don't know how to read or write, but they love going to the opera. They love the arts.
It's like Chekhov.
Yeah, it's Russia. 1900s Russia.
Could I build Gold Star if I wanted to?
Yeah.
No.
Well, you can build something and pretend it's Gold Star. Like
You can build a monument.
Mm-hmm.
That's the same thing.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
National monument.
So I started playing this game when it was Civ 3, and I like slowly ramped up.
Not me.
It's quality work.
OG game. You said the game, and he said.
Ooh, I got one more guilty pleasure. This is also video game related. Fighting games, and there's this new one called Brawlhalla. It's on my computer. It's so easy, and I'm amazing. I'm the best you've ever seen. And I got like one of the biggest competitive bones of anybody you know. Like in Cards Against Humanity, if I'm losing, I'll start to visibly get upset. Like, like a game that it doesn't really matter. I'm like, oh, I'm really 3 points behind Jackson right now. Guys, I'm gonna go to the bathroom and not come back. I can't take this. It's embarrassing. But no. In quarantine by myself, I need something to get that competitive spirit,
Juice.
That my competitive juice is flowing.
Yeah.
And so I hop on and I wreck some people. I've gotten so good. I've put so much time into this game over quarantine, and I'm having a good time.
I'm so happy for you. I gotta say, like, in relation to what you just said, I swear that I have so much going on inside my body, like emotionally and like physically, all this stuff, because I have nowhere to put it because we're not in class or anything. And it ends up just coming out as like anger towards my mother usually. I swear I've become so mean in quarantine. Like, I've never been this mean in my life.
I've been watching your
I
Snapchat
love being
stories and
mean.
like the fire alarm will be going off and you're just filming your mom. She's like, no, stop, put it away. And you're like, no, you
Okay,
did this.
the fire alarm has literally gone off 3 times now.
Is it
in
her
the span
fault?
of like 3 weeks. Yes, because she's always like grilling steak or like hamburgers. And the fire alarm goes off.
She just be messing it up.
You know how it be in these unprecedented.
Unprecedented times.
Oh my god. All right, question number 3. Moving on. Give me someone that inspires you.
Jackson West. I mean that.
Me?
Yeah,
I'm your person, or you were like trying to pass it off to me? Like, you go.
Well, you know what? It's you, baby.
Take that how you want.
I mean that from the bottom of my heart, big guy.
Oh, you inspire me too.
Okay.
I'm glad that we both didn't answer this question and are ready to move on.
Thank you so much.
What can we do? I mean,
no, but if we're being real, my father. I don't know if they they inspire me. The comedian Chris D'Elia, I've just gotten.
Wait, I was just gonna ask you if you watched his new special.
Yeah. Chris D'Elia is like hands down my favorite comedian because he's just stupid. He's silly. He'll turn nothing into something. I feel like I'm always so impressed by his wit. I think he's such a genius. I think comedians are all geniuses. I think they're some of the smartest people out there, and like because of him, I've just been watching podcast after podcast / like all his specials, any YouTube clip I can find of not just him but any comedian. But it all started with him recently, and like that's driven me to just start writing comedy, which is something that I've always wanted to get into, and I think I might be able to do.
I did watch that.
Yeah, might be able to do. So because of that, I've been writing, and he inspires me to just do my thing.
Wait, that's so cool. Jackson, when you were talking about like doing a little thing? I mean, you're both obviously on like improv troupes and are very funny people. So like, you both are inspired by comedy. And are you writing comedy too, Jackson? Like what?
I have been. Yeah, it's not good. So like, don't ask me to show you any.
None of it's good.
None of it's good. None. Zero. But no, mostly it's just lists of things. Like I've been looking up online, like different ways that comedians will come up with their stuff. And a big thing that a lot of comedians do is they just make a list of things that they hate. And the top of my list is lemon lime sodas. So
I thought it was gonna be Crimson.
Welcome.
Okay, you hate lemon lime soda, but you drink a lot of LaCroix. What are your thoughts on like lemon LaCroix? Because that's like, in my opinion, one of the most iconic flavors of LaCroix.
Very well is. My personal favorite flavor of LaCroix is key lime. So I don't know what that tells you, but I just think that
replace the key with a lime or with a lemon.
Key lemon. I like lemon LaCroix too, but my thing about lemon lime sodas is they are sweet, and lemons and limes, not sweet fruits.
They're sour.
They're lying to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's just lying to you, which is hugely disappointing to me.
But you ever take a sip of that
in the beginning
Sprite
for
and go,
years?
Just pucker? I don't know.
Yeah, like some cranberry juice. Just
like some cranberry juice.
You know?
Yeah.
It's appropriate.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Madison, we're both like starting out writing, so none of our stuff is funny. For example, Jackson's writing lists. My best joke so far, in my humble opinion, other than like stories or anything, is I just think onions are really gangster. I really think that.
You want to know something?
Huh.
Okay, so I've always like enjoyed watching comedy as well, but I don't find myself a very funny person. But I always tell people, like my brother, my mom, that if I were to ever have like a stand-up session, you know what I would talk about?
What?
Is that everyone always in the airport has cooler suitcases than me, and they always seem to be able to do like turns with them, and like they have all the like agile, like rolling.
You know, they got like the 4 wheels on the bottom. They're just like holding it like this,
And I'm like
walking it like
dragging
a
my
dog.
suitcase behind me, like it's heavy as hell. I'm like late to my flight, and then all these like people are zooming by me with their freaking like beautiful suitcases, and they're like not even late, and I just think it's so rude.
My favorite part about those is that sometimes there's a small animal in a package on top of it, and it's just like floating behind the person, like they're barely even touching it, or they just like grab it and then throw it in front of them and run after it a little bit. I'm just like, what? There's an animal on there. Be careful.
Also, I gotta say about those people with the suitcases with the 4 wheels, like I know that they aren't trying to look cool. Like back in like middle school or elementary school, I'd have a rolly backpack. I'd be like, I look sick right now. That obviously wasn't the case. But I think those people in the airport aren't like, oh, I look sick, but they don't look sick. Like they aren't trying to look dope, but they look so dumb. They're just hovering a freaking like suitcase along the road.
It looks like it's hovering. It looks like it's like floating along.
It's so strange.
That's inappropriate.
And also, if I had one, I would be using that as a mode of transportation. I'm sorry, you're not being efficient. I'm just saying.
I think it's so rude. And these suitcases, mind you, because I have looked them up in order to purchase one to be cool. They're so expensive. Why do you make suitcases so expensive to put your clothes in? Like, I could just as easily stick my shit in a backpack and call it a day.
Right, but it wouldn't float.
It wouldn't float.
Okay, so I guess it's like the aesthetic of like the floating animal, like.
Yeah, no. And like I've got this duffel bag that I think's pretty cool. I'm a duffel bag guy, always have been, always will be. My dad, he instilled that in me in a very young age, that duffel bags are just efficient and you can carry them and they're great. But I've always been jealous of people whose bags float. I'm walking through the airport. I got like one duffel bag over this shoulder, another one over that shoulder. I got a backpack on. I'm like, I'm made of bags at this point, just walking through, and a dude just strolls past me.
Yeah.
He's got like, and it's nothing, and I'm like, carrying everything I've ever owned in 3 bags.
And then by the time you get on
have you ever had
sweating, you know, and you're like hot and overwhelmed, and there's so many people around you.
The worst part is when your whole family is like, you've been assigned to watch the bags while they all went to the bathroom or something, and then out of the blue they all get out of the bathroom and they're like, we are at the wrong gate, our plane leaves in 10 minutes and we all have to move, come on Jackson, grab our bags, let's go. And then they're just like, you would pick up like 4 different bags and you have them strapped to your body and you're running trying to follow them, and then you're like trying to pass the bags off while you're all running down the street or the alleyway. It's the worst feeling in the world.
This has happened to you?
Yes.
And no one helped?
Well, like I was unpacking myself
come on,
to them while we're running.
You gotta get them. We'll tell the plane to wait for you.
They figure like if I get to the gate first, then I can hold the door open for the family members that are lugging our luggage down. You know, because he assumed I would be slower. I was in front of him by the end of the road.
They probably thought those long legs would really help out, huh?
Yeah.
How tall is your family?
My family combined, probably a good like 40 feet tall. No, my dad's probably the same height as me. My mom's like 5'10". My sister's like that-ish too.
Tall jeans.
Like
literally, you'll probably have really tall pants.
So hard to find jeans that fit. That's another, I'm adding that to my list of things that I hate.
No, it's true. Being a tall, skinny person, it's impossible. It's just difficult. I used to have a lot more difficulty as a child because now I've kind of figured out like what works for me, but I can imagine because you're like my same skinniness, but then add like another inch or 2. Unfortunately.
Yeah,
jeans confuse me with all the numbers and the W and the L and
the 2 numbers.
There's 2 numbers.
Waist and length.
Yours is the most convincing because
y'all be like, oh yeah, 7. It's like is that a measurement? Is that what could that be?
And then it changes.
Yeah,
depending on the store too.
Exactly.
It's like men's. The Aeropostale is a 4, at
No,
the
but
other store.
Jackson,
And I'm like,
Jackson, get this though. They've got this one store. It's like one of my sister's favorite stores, Brandy Melville. They only have one size.
It's one size.
An entire store of one size. How does that work?
It's the worst. I know.
is it made out of elastic?
I can't shop there because it doesn't fit.
That's
It's
so
so offensive.
offensive.
I
Yeah.
will say sometimes one size clothing is like really stretchy, you know? So like you could like stretch it if you had to, but still, it's a stupid concept. Like who came up with that?
Well, they're very successful, I think, right?
Yeah, marketers.
I have a sticker of theirs super scratched out off on my water bottle. Hey, they also make cool stickers.
That's where they're making their money.
One
That's
size.
where they're making. No, they just give them away for free. I've only been in Brandy Melville one time. I was in Santa Barbara with my sister. My cousin was having a wedding, so we were in California. And she's like, Oliver, we gotta go to Brandy Melville. And I was like, do we gotta? And she's like, yeah, we gotta go. So we go to Brandy Melville. And I'm like looking around and I'm like seeing stickers on the floor. I'm like, don't mind if I do. I put it away. And then the lady, like, at some point is like, just a reminder, all the stickers in the store are free. They just have boxes of these things. I left that store with maybe 30 stickers. Like, I had no shame. I love stickers. I was leaving I had every sticker you could have pictured. One said Malibu, one said New York. I had one that had a little car on it. I even had like 3 of these ones. I was very happy. And for that, I'm okay with Brandy Melville existing.
We
Free
ain't got
stickers.
beef.
We ain't got
The
beef.
free stickers.
Okay, do you want to tell me what your fun plan is?
Our fun plan was simply pick a topic and discuss it humorously, which is what we've been doing this whole time.
Well,
Yeah, it kind of worked out.
let's pick a topic. Someone shout out a topic.
Yeah, someone from the audience.
Come on, we're listening.
Hello?
I think yo-yos are interesting.
Yo-yos are interesting.
I
You have a
think-
very good point.
Yo-yo.
Everybody I've ever seen that's been good at yo-yo, I'm just kind of like, huh? I'm like, why'd you decide that that's what you wanted to spend your time in? And okay, at my 9-10 high school, there's this thing called Chinese Yo-Yo Club.
Wait, guys,
Have you-
my meeting says it's gonna end in 10 minutes.
Then we have 10 minutes to discuss yo-yos.
Explode.
Okay, listen, at my old 9-10 high school, they had this thing called Chinese Yo-Yo Club. Do y'all know what Chinese yo-yos are?
Is it the ones with the sticks?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, the ones you
You got-
catch on the thing.
It's like two
Coolest thing
strings.
you've seen in your life. And
They're insane.
I always had wanted to join that club, but I just knew that like probably wasn't my crowd. But imagine if I was just dope at Chinese yo-yo. I think that's a really cool skill that could be useful on my resume. I
Wait,
couldn't-
It very
guys,
well could.
guys,
Yes.
my game pertains to the thing that we're doing. Do you wanna take a gander?
Yeah,
I do.
take
I want
this-
to play
I
your
have
game.
a giant solo cup, okay? It's really big. And it's filled with prompts. And usually I do like a top 10 kind of deal where you give me your like top 10 things of this prompt. But honestly, let's just pick a prompt and go with it, okay?
Okay.
Well, I'm curious now. Let's see. This sounds
see.
kind of like what we were planning. We were like, maybe she could have like, I don't know, a bowl and pick things out of it. We could just talk about it.
Let's see. Cartoon characters.
Mm,
Okay, so I'm a huge fan of Looney Tunes. Like I have 6 seasons in a box set. I bought it for $72 on Amazon last summer. Well, let me tell you, I haven't watched Looney Tunes since I was but a wee child, and oh my Lanta, is it just a tad racist all the time? All the time.
That's not what
There
I
was
expected.
I believe Donald or Daffy Duck was wearing a headdress at one point. It was not good. And then they had a depiction of Hitler and Stalin.
They got a
and little
ton
German.
of. They've got like multiple Hitler episodes. I did know
Guys,
that.
you supported Looney Tunes by purchasing 7 seasons.
For
My favorite part though
$72.
is at the beginning of every disc, like you put the disc in and then it's like, and then Whoopi Goldberg comes out. She's like, "Hi everyone, we love the Looney Tunes, but they're a depiction of their time. We have not changed or altered any of the Looney Tunes. This is not a good Whoopi Goldberg accent.
I think it sounds almost spot on. Keep it going.
Anyway, but then she kind of like explains that they're not appropriate, but we can't change them because they're a depiction of their time. So they are what they are.
Okay, so
Please be respectful.
you said that you said the Looney Tunes are just a tad bit racist all the time, and I was like, okay, but the fact that they have a disclaimer, Whoopi Goldberg disclaimer at the beginning of every disc, that's bad.
Bad.
That's not good.
Not good at all.
Looney
It's
Tunes.
kind of ruined it for me.
Fix it.
That's
I
very.
used to like watch and laugh with innocence and joy. It was wonderful. And now I turn it in, I plug it on, and it's just like the only episode I can watch is the one where Bugs Bunny is a baseball player, and I've seen that one so many times.
You're like, this is the only non-problematic one.
Well,
I
because he
just
plays
watched
all the
Looney
different
Tunes.
like spots on the field. It's quite impressive.
You know what my favorite cartoon is?
Huh.
What?
And I'll say it proudly. Everyone knows this is like one of my favorite shows.
Mhm.
Rick and Morty.
Oh, I thought you were
I
going to say
love Rick
Peppa
and
Pig.
Morty.
Really? I
Peppa Pig.
really
Oh
just-
well, yeah, but
Rick and Morty's hilarious.
Rick and
Justin
Morty is my kryptonite.
Mhm.
On May 1st, on Hulu, they are releasing not a new season of Rick and Morty, but it's the same animators, and I'm pretty sure it's the same voice actors. And so it's like the same style show, but it's about like aliens that have landed on Earth.
What is it called? I feel like I've seen
I don't know, but I'm
something.
pretty excited about it. I hope it's good. May 1st.
Maybe a quick Google search could help you out.
Maybe we can watch a have a watching party. That's what I was trying to say.
My favorite cartoon of all time it's an adult cartoon. It's BoJack Horseman. That
BoJack is good.
that it's so sad. I think that cartoon, it's so brilliant, so smartly written, and it has the ability, if you're depressed, you shouldn't watch that show because it'll make things worse. And if you're completely okay, that show might make you depressed. Like, you just have to accept that as a risk before watching it. But like my senior
Solar
year,
opposites.
solar opposites. But my senior year of high school, I started that and I was like, I'm BoJack Horseman. Obviously wasn't BoJack Horseman, but I was like, me. And so like that was like the first cartoon that I like religiously watched like through every season, and it finished last semester. And oh my goodness, that was one of the crazier things I've seen in my life. That show. I'm really impressed by that show.
It's a good show.
Shall we pick a new topic?
Yeah, we got 4 minutes and 35 seconds.
All right. Words that start with the letter M.
Malicious.
I love that word.
I think
so
it's a great word.
tasty.
It's
like just chewy. So I was having Madison starts with the letter M, and I was having a thought earlier today. I was thinking about this Madison show, and you know how like Ellen has her show, and everyone knows Ellen is like the Ellen, even though Ellen is not like the only Ellen to exist.
There are multiple
And I was
Ellens, but if you say
thinking-
Ellen,
Yeah, everybody knows that Ellen because there are like no other famous Ellens ever.
Yes.
And I'm like, wait, are there any famous Madisons?
You want to hear something?
go.
The answer is no.
Listen, the answer is yes. So you know that
Who?
show on Netflix called Outer Banks?
No. I'm so sorry. I
No.
recognize the name. I've seen
well,
a trailer. I bet.
There's this new show called Outer Banks. Never seen it, but everyone's like super into it and like has been posting about it, being like, go watch it, whatever. And so my roommate started watching it and she texted me. And apparently the lead actresses, or one of the lead actresses, her name is Madison Bailey. Like, simply Madison Bailey.
Killer.
Kill her. Yeah, you kill her
Kill
and
her.
take her place. Take her resume. Then
I'm
whenever-
so upset. I'm going to have to change my name.
What's your middle name, Madison?
Rose.
You could be Rose Bailey.
I could be Rose.
Madison Rose wouldn't be bad.
Ooh,
Rose,
Madison
dude.
Rose. I gotta say, I'm pretty Oliver Kennedy. I feel like it's fine. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it flows. I feel like all of us got like the you know, I feel like I never meet people whose names don't fit them, you know? like
You're
I'll
right.
be like I'll picture like a last name with the first name. I'm like, no, that doesn't make sense. But if I met that person, I'd be like, yeah. And it flows too.
Whenever I like tell people my name, like at restaurants and stuff, for some unknown reason, I tell them my name. But
I'm Jackson West, and I'd like the spaghetti.
exactly.
You
That's kinda exactly
slate
how it
before
goes.
your order.
My name's Jackson West, and tonight I will be eating.
And tonight I will be eating the spaghetti.
Yes. No, but the waitresses and like even like grocery store clerks, whenever somebody hears my name for the first time, they're like meeting me, they're like, that's like actor name. Like I could, do you guys get that? Do you guys get that? Like when you
I've
tell
never
people your
gotten
name
that.
and they're like, oh, you could be like,
You're
I
just
think it's
on
the one
stage.
syllable last name. I think that like just the precision of that word, nice. Also,
it's got
we
a
have-
crisp ending for sure.
crisp ending. It would appear we have less than a minute.
Yeah. Also, I hate slating. I'll throw it out there. I think it's stupid, and
I think it's fun.
I hate slating. I'm so awkward, and I hate it.
You have to love your name when you say it. My name is
Mhm.
Oliver Kennedy.
I want you to
guys, I'm
walk into
so-
acting and do that for Lance,
I
please.
will.
I'm so glad that I got to Zoom with you guys today.
Yes, this was a
I'm
blast.
so glad I got to Zoom with
What
you,
are
Madison.
your last words before we leave, if we get time?
Live long and prosper. That's the first thing I thought of. I was rushed.
That's good. Tom Hanks. That's all I have to say.
Tom Thumb.
Oh, hmm
Tom Thumb.
and that's on Tom Phone.
All right. Well,
Oh,
I love you both. Thank you for being on my show. You guys are stars.
Thank
Jackson,
you.
this
have
is
to
Miss
work.
Madison.
Proud of you. Thank you for all you do. Love you guys.
Much love.